turn y'all cameras on, because I'm never just looking at one person. I'm always looking at a whole host of y'all at one time. I love to see y'all beautiful faces, even though y'all pictures be cute. I love to see y'all live faces every morning. And we are about to unmute. It is hump day, family. Let's go. Let's go.
Good morning, family. Good morning. Let's go. Let's wake up. Let's go.
Good morning. Let's get it.
Have a great day. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go,
Happy hump day.
Good morning.
Let's go, family.
How
Good
y'all
morning.
feeling? Everybody doing all right? I get to see a lot of y'all in all kinds of different places and spaces. This place is constantly growing. They're adding more spaces for us to connect with and grow on a constant basis. Like literally, there's so many different classes right now. I'll be feeling like it was about, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, it was 2-something in the morning. I was on the phone with other coaches, and I just had to sit and just start across the piece of paper. I had to put Monday through Friday, and I literally started to write out like the meetings and the classes for every day, and was like, woo, this is a lot going on. Like first it was just the accountability calls, and then like just the MMA calls, and I want to say it's like about 9 different places to be in 5 days. What? Like, wait, what? And then for most of those, you have homework in everything. And so, wait, what? What is happening, family? What's going on? And we were sitting there laughing and just like, wait, it's 7 days in a week, 9 places to be, and homework and everything. And I said, well, we have the proper mentors to show us how to do this, because I have seen these kings on go. I don't know how they do what they do. And so if they could do what they do to get us to where they're trying to get us to, then we could daggone sure do what we need to do for ourselves to get to where we're trying to get to. So on that note, family, this is call number 8, y'all. Time is ticking down. What is happening? Oh my gosh, call number 8, family. And so what we dealing with? So we started talking about habits, and today is going to be about habit hacking, training, and practices. So this call will focus on learning and practicing techniques to help you form and maintain positive habits that will help you achieve your goals. So we're going to be dealing with the introduction to habit hacking and its beliefs. We'll be dealing with identification of specific habits to target for improvement, and strategies for breaking old habits and creating new ones. We're also going to touch on practicing and accountability for implementing new habits. And real quick, I'm going to go over these commitments. Y'all know we got to touch on these commitments. Y'all know what we're supposed to be doing. So we're going to choose one new habit to develop and track your progress daily. You're going to use habit stacking to pair a new habit with an existing one, and eliminate any bad habits by identifying triggers and finding healthier alternatives. Remember, we're doing our field research, exploring the latest findings in your area of expertise, and goal tracking and updates, monitoring progress towards your goals. So let's see, we might have time for maybe 3 people, 30 seconds or less, family. Let's talk to some people about some habits that they know they have right now that you might need to go ahead and drop by the wayside. Let that luggage go. What's some bad habits that we need to let go of, family, that you find right now that could possibly be getting in your way and not assisting you in moving the needle as fast as you want to, as far as accomplishing your goals? Queen Aries, come talk to us, Queen.
I need to become a better management of time. I sometimes take on too many things at one time.
And if you resonate with what Queen Aries just said, put Yana in the chat, family. Put Yana in the chat. That's probably what, 90% of us, probably, if not more. Absolutely. And so have you been able to get into the app at all and look at that weekly time blocking challenge and use that to help assist you with your time management.
Well, no, not really, because when I got off of the call yesterday, outside of taking a bath and getting ready for work and maybe making breakfast, I had to run and do clients. And I had clients all day until it was time to do another training that started 4 o'clock my time. And so by the time I was done with that, it was like 8 o'clock my time. And then I was cleaning, I had to clean up the kitchen. I had to do that and clean everything else. And that went almost into like 12 o'clock. So I didn't even get a chance, no.
So was that on your schedule? Did you schedule that? Like, did you
To
make
clean the kitchen?
everything that you mentioned, did you make a schedule the day before as far as what you was going to do the next day? Are you scheduling out your time in like hour blocks to help you manage your days better, to help you get everything that you want to get accomplished and focusing on one task at a time?
Well, you know, the thing about it is that my salon is automated. So even, and then I have certain hours I'm available. So even though I'm sitting here talking to you now, I was just booked 3 times. So I'm booked without me even knowing it. So if I just not pay attention to my text messages or anything like that, or my scheduling app, I can get booked 3 or 4 times without me knowing it. And then it's already prepaid for, so it's not like I can't show up. So it's kind of like, okay, I gotta go. So my time is kind of limited, but I still make time to get up early. This is the only thing that I actually schedule. I know I have to do that I can make here at 5 o'clock, get up at 5. And that took the time for me going to the gym from 4:40 to 5:40.
Oh, we don't want to eliminate the gym time. We still need that.
Well, I mean, what do I get up at 3?
Okay, so let me ask you this real quick. I don't want to definitely want to bring up some more people, but being that this is your business, would it be beneficial to allot a certain amount of time for your salon? Like, can you actually open your books to certain days at a certain time where your clients is in a certain window? And then
if my bills would allow it. But so let me explain to you what happened. I don't know if you guys recall, a little while ago, I was talking about switching everything from your personal over to your business name. So however, for like, I don't know how many years, I've been running my, what you would say, merchant account for my salon. All the money has been going into my personal, which is a complete no-no. That's called commingling. So my CPA was like, correct that ASAP. So once I corrected it, my company that I hired to do all my automations, I went through a very long identification process. You know, they was like, all these years, why are you changing your bank account and your information? So I had to send over all kinds of stuff. I had to go get letters from Navy Fed. I had to send in IDs. I had to do a lot of stuff, which resulted from me not being able, which was what was good and bad, because I was able to do the 5-day challenge and do a bunch of other stuff. So it held my money up for like 14 days. That 14 days cost me $4,000. So now what I did now, so once everything was just corrected as of yesterday, so now I had something that they called a boost. So they did a boost to my books. So now I'm trying to, you know, make up for what I lost because the bills are still due. And then I generated a nice little balance, you know, paying for courses and stuff of that nature, which wouldn't have been a problem if I wouldn't have been 14 days hiatus, but now I have to try to pay it forward. So I'm kind of short on time. So it's kind of hard for me to just say, hey, I'm going to the shop at 2 o'clock. That's my source of income outside of a couple of other things that do take a little bit of time. I have get a deposit, you know, for like the LLC stuff. I'm not getting all of that up front. I'm taking a half of it now and then half later. But with the salon, you walk in there, it's already prepaid for. So I have to produce.
All
so
right.
it's kind of
I'm gonna
tough.
call you. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some more. But I'm gonna call you. I got you, Queen. Queen
Okay.
Reba, y'all show Queen Erie some love in the chat this morning, family. We're gonna get this time right, family. We're gonna get it right. Queen Reba, come talk to us, Queen. Are you able to talk to us, Queen? Unmute, love. We can't hear you.
Hey,
Hey, Queen, how you doing?
I am doing just fabulous this morning. How are you? How are you guys?
We're great. You look fabulous.
Thank you. So, what I wanted to say was the same thing that Ari said. My bad habit is time management. However, I have been working on it. I have bought me a planner with the hour time slots. So I've been mapping out my day, each hour. If I run over a little bit, I'll just scratch it out and just go to the next task. But so that has always been a big thing for me. And now I have gotten to the point where I don't watch TV. I don't scroll down social media all day. I had a lot of times where I was just wasting time. And I'm very busy. When I say very busy, I mean very busy. I have 5 kids. I'm an actress. I work full time. Like I have to go to gymnastics, go here, go there. But when I'm at work, since I have an easy job where I just work on a computer, what I do is I take the time and I go down my time management sheet and I start marking out things because that my credit has been we've been fighting every day, but every day I'm sending letters, I'm calling, reaching out to the collection agencies, reaching out to this. So I'm every day I'm just scratching things off my list. So I have gotten a lot better with the time management, but that has been one habit that I have had that has been kicking my butt. But
no, it's not. No, it's not. You knocking that out, and you're gonna keep knocking it out.
Yeah,
it's not kicking your butt. No, it's not.
To kick my butt.
It's not. You kicking its butt. You keep doing what you're doing, Queen. You got this. We support you. We're gonna love and support you through the process.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing. I so appreciate you, Queen. Y'all show Queen Reva some love in the chat, family. Absolutely love it, Queen. Who is that over there? Melly, what? Come talk to us, Queen. Y'all know I can't see. Stop playing. Don't y'all make fun of me that I got to be all up on top of the screen trying to see people with glasses on. Are you on mute? Not yet. I'm mute, baby.
I would say procrastination. I be procrastinating a lot.
Come on, King. What you got going on? Well, how you procrastinating? Talking about you trying to be a multi-millionaire. What we doing, King?
I don't know. When I think it come with that organized being, not being so organized, everything everywhere. My past, I come from the streets, man. I wasn't not used to doing all this stuff. So now that I'm trying to go switch over and do all the things right, it's a little harder for me. And then I'd be like, I know I'm supposed to do it, but it'd be like taking a lot out of me just to get up and do it. And then when I do it and I be on it, like yesterday, I was calling all the credit companies yesterday. But it's like, as soon as I run into a little stump, I get sidetracked. And then I forget to call them back. And then I procrastinate on calling them back, knowing the first time I should have just kept going. I don't know. It's just something I've been working on, something that's just been holding me back a little bit. A lot of it, actually.
Actually, absolutely. I was about to say, that sounds like a lot of it to me. And so, King, I'm going to need you to get into that app. There is several different challenges in there that we could tap into to help you get past that procrastination, because that is not an option.
I ain't gonna lie. I did write you yesterday in the group and ask you for some help, but you ain't never respond back.
I'm sorry. I didn't see it. My bad. I promise you I got you. Where? Through the app? You said you messaged me?
On Telegram, when you was talking to somebody, but I had just shouted out there, like, if you can help me with doing the work on the Love Plus app and stuff.
Man, if y'all knew about Sunshine's life right now, y'all have no idea.
It's okay. I'm trying to get busy like Sunshine.
Look, like people say, I don't see TV. I used to listen to music all day. I used to have time for all kinds of stuff. Nothing, like no TV. I don't even listen to music hardly like that no more. My life is on it's in a totally different place. But
well, I don't waste time watching TV. I ain't gonna lie, but I am an artist. I just finished graduating for engineering and stuff, so I do a lot of my time is making music.
Oh well, congratulations! Congratulations! Y'all show the King in the chat.
Yeah, when I first started with y'all, I was graduating. I was getting dressed on the last day of our class. I was getting dressed, going to walk the stage. So
Oh,
y'all was kind of there with me. Y'all just didn't know.
That's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. Y'all show the king some love. Congratulations again. All right. What time is it? Well, we running behind. So that's going to be our last one right now. We got a lot going on this morning. And so we're about to bring up the man of the hour. Y'all already know what we're doing. Y'all better unmute. Y'all already know what time it is. This is our everything, our mindset mogul, our king crew, the one that's going to keep us focused, get our minds right, that's going to help align us to our goals and literally pour into us in all the ways that we need. Y'all unmute, family. Let's go.
Let's
Go,
go.
let's go. Let's get it.
Oh, let's
Crew. Mindset.
go.
Coach Crew.
Mindset
Let's go.
mogul.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's go, King. Where you at,
Go.
King?
Yeah.
Let's go, King. Where you at?
Go.
We having
Let's go.
We be looking all over the place for the king. Where he be at, y'all? Where he at, y'all?
I'll be playing in the background. I'll be background. I'll just be observing. I'll be trying to see what's me at this point. Y'all don't need me. Sunshine doing so well. Y'all can just keep Sunshine. Bring the camera back.
I can't do this without you. No way.
Yeah. So today and this week, right, we're talking about these habits. Talking about habit hacking. Everybody put habit hacking in the chat. Thanks for giving me some warm welcome, but give yourself some warm welcome. You've been into a different space. You've been changing the way that you think. You've been changing your circle. A lot of change has taken place, but you can't make $1 without change, right? You can't truly step into a light of creating multi-million-dollar businesses if what you're doing isn't even making sense, right? So what you're doing is getting your house in order. You're building your foundation, right? And I want you to understand that one of the biggest things when it comes to building your foundation is the habits, right? Because your habits can determine, your habits can show the quality of your life. Like, think about it. If you don't have the life you truly want, it's pretty much based upon the habits that you have. So what type of things are you doing? Are you investing your money into places where you can see growth? Are you putting yourself, your body, your mind into spaces where it can grow? Are you surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals? Are you putting yourself in a space where not only are you excelling, the people around you are excelling, right? So all of these different habits, and Sunshine was bringing up individuals to speak on it. And I want this to go down. When you can recognize the habits that aren't working, you also need to recognize the habits that do work. And the thing about it also is, if you recognize habits that don't work, what are you going to do to replace those habits, right? Because knowing means nothing, right? Like we always talk about it. You're going to hear this time and time out, but we like to say it over and over, right? So the thing is, you need to go to the gym, but do you do it? You should change your eating lifestyle, but do you do it? Everybody mics on mute, please. Okay, can somebody just place everybody mics on mute, please? Thank you. So it's just understanding that you don't have to do anything in this world, but understand that there will be consequences for what you do and what you don't do. So ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is dangerous. Ignorance is something that's going to harm you instead of help you, especially at this day and age in your life. So when we talk about these habit hackings, we really want to put ourselves in a position to recognize how can we become better. So that's really the goal, is to become better. I had a whole presentation slide, but we don't need it right now because we have to put the real work in. Everybody put real work in the chat. We have to put the real work in. Like it's one thing to keep coming up and hearing people speak to you and get motivation, inspiration. That's great. Like that's amazing. But the real work must get done. Like when y'all heard Aries speak and she said, she came on a call, she did this, she did that. But what happened is in real life, in real time, her calendar got booked and she had to do some real work. So if you're not putting these practices into your real work, it's not going to matter. Like you come into class and you're listening and you're doing a great job, you're raising your hand. That's a good step, because when you start to participate, and become the biggest participant in your life, you become that star of your movie, and you really start to be able to transform your life. Instead of waiting around, you're actually taking action and making things change around you. So habit is truthfully like one of the biggest things you have to focus on. This is why we put a whole week on habits. So Sunshine, I want you to continue to go, but let's stick to 30 seconds or less, y'all. So we're going to start running this ship again, a little tighter. Once again, if you weren't on a previous call, I mentioned this. In the beginning, a couple weeks, yes, we had to have time to let everybody share and open up and really experience this type of call, right? This type of setting, this type of environment. But what we also want to do is practice the things that we preach, right? So being more effective in less time, you got to come up here really 30 seconds or less and get it done, right? The reason why, because we want you to be clear, we want you to be concise. I love how everybody who has been taking the opportunities to get extra coaching or, join another program or, just really invest into themselves. I want everybody to unmute for that. And also, at the same time, clap it up and snap it up for yourselves for really setting out goals and then hitting that mark or at least getting close to it. So everybody just unmute real fast and just clap it up and snap it up for yourselves for being here right now.
Absolutely. Let's
go. Let's go. Great. I'm doing well. Let's go. Good job, y'all. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm doing great. Let's go.
Who was that saying woo? That's funny.
Leave me alone, coach. Leave me alone.
I'm bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's about to get me hyped. I was about to get on the woo train, Sharada.
Okay, come on. Woo!
Oh my gosh. Y'all
no, that's great. That's great stuff. That's the energy that we're talking about, right? So one of the biggest things is let's let Jermaine is admin. Let's let her in. So hold on. Can somebody put me back in the spotlight? Okay, there we go. So yeah, Sunshine, what I want you to do, because we have a special guest is going to talk about a few things, but before I even get to that, we just want to talk right now. Yo, really come up here 30 seconds or less and you diagnose yourself, right? You say, okay, look, I've been procrastinating. Okay, what's the solution? Right? Because you're not going to always have Coach Crew. You're not always have the mindset move. You're not always going to have somebody that's able to say, okay, yo, what's going on? And pour that love into you. You got to pour that love into yourself. And pouring that love into yourself means this. When you know you need to make a pivot, you must pivot. Everybody put pivot in the chat. Like when you know you need to make a pivot, you must pivot. You cannot simply just put yourself in a position of suffering. Right? Like you got to make sure that you can move the needle enough so that way you start to get the results that you truly want. So Sunshine, let's have people raise their hands again and bring them up 30 seconds or less. I'm bringing out the time clock. So if y'all go over 30 seconds or less, unfortunately, I will have to stop you. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's for you to get clear and concise. Practice on the spot, real-time results. So let's go, Sunshine. What habits that you have that you're willing to break? How are you going to break those habits? How are you going to replace those habits that aren't workable?
Okay, so King Anthony, I know, had his hand up. He was one of the last ones that I seen. King Anthony, are you still available to come speak? I'm not sure if I still see him, family. If you are, put your virtual hand back up, King. We're going to move on to King Michael. Come talk to us, King Michael.
Good morning, MMA family. How y'all doing?
Grand Rising, King.
Thanks, Queen Sunshine. I like to give a major shout out to you, Coach Crew, because it's been very hard to actually watch TV and all that, man. I don't watch TV no more. I wake up an hour early to get in this gym. I've been on my dean doing the work. There's a lot of habits that got broken. I want to say that, and I'm not gonna take over 30 seconds. Thank you very much. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're a voice in my head. God bless. Love y'all.
Real quick, King. Is there any habit that you have going on right now that you feel like you still need to break?
Yeah, it's still little habits.
Okay, so name one real quick, and what you plan on doing about it?
My fear. I'm still fighting my fears. I'm still fighting fears. It's still a nerve-wracking when it comes to doing all types of changes, because You know, I'm definitely from another world, but I'm here for change, and I've been changing. You know, because
Sunshine, let me question real fast. So, and this goes for everybody. This is how I want you to start to frame it, so that way you can get that power that you need to push you past this current limitation. So, what is it that you really want the most? Like when you say you want change, you want transformation, what is it that you really want the most?
Okay, what I really want the most is structure and
no. What result in your life that you really want the most?
To keep going straight.
No, which result in your life do you really want the most? Like what do you want to see come into your life that you're working for, that you're going straight for, and you're getting this discipline for? Like why are you doing this?
Oh, okay. What I really want the most, to not have the extra thoughts of looking back of where I come from.
Okay, you know? Let's not frame it with the negative. Let's go with the positive. So if you don't want to look back from where you come from, okay, what's the opposite of that? Like give me the positive version. What do you want the most?
What I want the most is basically to achieve, to basically like y'all stated to me, to get that first drawing of blood, to know that, to believe that it can happen. So that's what I'm working towards, to just basically make things happen.
Okay, so this is great, but this goes for everybody. The reason why I'm asking you this is because you need to be clear and concise. You need to come out and say, what do I want? I want to create a world full of love, connectivity, financial prosperity. How am I going to do that? I must be the reflection of that world. I must be the person that can give love, be loved. I must be the person that can connect, be open, be vulnerable. I must understand I have to put myself in position to make financial prosperity, to create financial prosperity, right? I have to do that. That's clear and concise. Now I know what I need to do. I need to be in this room. I need to create products. I need to create services. I need to help people. I need to help my community. That's it. You are fighting fear because you aren't clear.
Agreed.
Right? When you are clear, you no longer have fear because you understand why you're here.
Agree.
I don't know. Maybe I'm old or something. That was a whole bar. Anyway, look.
You got bars. You rapping, Coach Crew?
Now I used to be rapping. I used to rap. All right. Anyway, that's some old stuff. We ain't bring that up. But so yeah, it goes for everybody. If you're fighting fear, it's really because you're unclear of what you truly want. And that's really it. And we just showed it in real time. So going forward, this is what I need you to work on. I need you to work on being clear about what you truly want as a result in your life. Whether you want to live in an island and have all your family with you, whether you want to be financially, we wouldn't say free, financially prosperous, then, you know, those are the things I want you to start to say. So for everybody here, I want you to think of 3 possibilities that you want to create for yourself. And I told you I'm mine, creating a world full of love, connectivity, financial prosperity. But everybody send some love to Mike, and let's continue to go. I just had to stop that because that, to me, much love, King. Appreciate you. I just had to stop that, Sunshine, because it really is a sense of clarity that we must get, right? We can get all the plays in the world, but if we don't have the clarity, it's just not going to work long term. All right, let's continue to go, Sunshine. I got the clock right here.
1000% correct. King Anthony. Come talk to us, King. Talk to us about one of your habits that you are looking forward to breaking and how you plan on doing that, King.
Grand Rising, everybody. Good to be here. One of my bad habits I'm noticing is, okay, I'm gonna be truthful. I don't write the things down that I need to do. Like I got it written down, my time blocks, but I don't got it on my phone. That's first and foremost. Then second, I started doing little things like start washing the dishes, start sweeping, mopping, and then those are little things that's not producing me money. And I know I have to time block, it has to be done, but I have to time block that to do that. And what I'm working for, look, I'm out here 10 hours a day. You can see I'm with the hard hat out here.
Hold on, Anthony.
I gotta worry about it. Yes, sir.
All right, so that's 30 seconds. Now you just give us the solution.
The solution is write it down. And I'm doing this not only for my family legacy, but I really want to help empower men to open up and find a better chance and break generational trauma. That's all I got.
Okay. I'd love for you to get a little more clear on that. And also write it down right now. Like take your phone right now and do it right now in real time. Everybody send love to Anthony in the chat. Let's continue to go.
King Mark, come talk to us, King.
You got 30 seconds.
Hello, family. I think my biggest hiccup is taking shortcuts. I've always taken shortcuts in life. I did it in school. I still do it now. And what I think I really need to do is put the things that are of high importance at the top of my list. And this is something that I've never done. And what I'm actually looking for and the gain out of this is prosperity and wealth for myself and my family.
Absolutely.
Right. Go ahead, Sunshine.
No, I just was going to say, I love it. Go ahead, King.
All right, cool. So what are you going to do? Like, we want to make sure we keep that rhythm going, right? Give us the habit. Give us how you're going to like change up that habit and implement a new one. That's what we want from everybody. We're going to take one more person, and then we're going to bring up our special guest, because this is a habit that everybody needs to start to really transform. And that's spending your money, putting your money in places of growth. So great stuff, by the way. You got time for one more person, Sunshine.
Queen Jasmine, come talk to us, Queen.
Hey, happy hump day, everybody. So for me, it's two things. So procrastinating on my personal credit. I have moved a little bit, but because I don't like it that much, I'm learning to love it. I move slower with that versus other things, as well as I'm a very technical person. And so I'm trying to not be so technical with everything that I'm doing with this and make it complicated, but to simplify everything that I have going on and getting it organized. And so what I have done is just every day to make myself love my personal credit is I'll do one thing every day to move me toward the goal of having better credit. So that way, when I look back on a week, I'll be like, wow, I did those 5 things and it's working, instead of overwhelming myself that I have to do 10 things a day. And then one of my goals is to create, a legacy for my family. I want to, not just be able to balance work and them, but really to spend time with them and be heavily involved with them as my princesses, grow and get older.
All right, good stuff, Jazz. So, and this goes for everybody. Like, if we have more time, we just let everybody go, right? But unfortunately, we don't. What I require and just suggest that everybody do is really start to write these things down, right? Why? Because it's spelling. Like, regardless whether you believe in the spirituality of yourself or not, you're a magical being. Like, as a human, you are a magical being. So just to preference this before we bring up the next person, a special guest, I want you to understand. God created creation, right? The stars, the moon, the planet, right? And then you have creatures, the animals, the life, like what we would call bugs, insects. And then you have creators, which are humans. So you have to understand your rightful place on this earth. And if you're not creating, if you're not being the person that's generating the idea, if you're not being the person that's putting forth their creation into the world, then you are going to feel some type of struggle. You're going to feel some type of pullback, some type of pull down. You have to create. This is why the person who creates the idea gets paid the most attention, the most impact, and the most income. The person who's just implementing somebody else's idea gets paid the least, because you're doing something that is what we will call the least amount of effort. Even though you do the most work, you're getting overpaid, getting overworked and underpaid. The point is, if you was to use your mind to create your life the way you truly wanted it, you will have it. So everybody here who makes excuses, it's not, coming at anybody. I'm just saying, if you're finding yourself making excuses, I challenge you to make solutions, right? Everybody put solutions over excuses in the chat. Like, I challenge you, Like, the same way you can create an excuse, you can create a solution for your life. And some of you have done it, right? Some of you have had issues in your life where you said enough is enough. And now I'm going to make change, and I'm going to make a solution out of my pain, right? So I want you to start doing that without having your back against the wall. I want you to start doing that with the resources that you currently have, without thinking that you have a lack of resources. All right. So just creating solutions over excuses, but that's going to happen through your habits. One of the habits that you have to change is the way that you think, the way that you talk to yourself, negative self-talk. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to segue into the next portion, which is the way that we spend money. How many people here have spent money in a way that it wasn't conducive to our ultimate result, right? Of having wealth, generational wealth, financial prosperity, or being able to change the community. Just put something in the chat to let us know, so that way we get to understand what we're dealing with, right? Because we say we have these lofty dreams of being a millionaire. I'm telling you, that's not the goal anymore, y'all. Being a millionaire is not the goal. That's the easy side now. There's so many millionaires being made per day. Why? Because all you got to do is collect money. You don't have to make money. You just got to collect it. How are you going to collect it? You're going to collect it first by knowing where to put it. You have to know where to put the money. Where do you put your money at? Let me know in the chat. Where do you put your money in at? Some of y'all know we spoke about this a little bit, but there's a new era of banking, right? And somebody said, hey, yo, Coach Crew, this ain't the new era. They've been doing that. Yeah, but have you been doing that? Have you been changing your life? Have you been putting your money into a place where it can grow? Have you been doing it? Has your family, right? So we want to create investments, right? Create investment opportunities, right? Most people, I'm glad, I'm so happy right now because I'm not seeing the bank. You know, like last year, that's all I was seeing last year on this chat. Yo, so where do you put your money? The bank. Like, why do you put your money in a bank? Why do you give your money to somebody else to hold so that way they can charge you when you want to get it out? Everybody put reverse in the chat. A lot of us are operating in reverse. Imagine just living your life walking backwards. Imagine everything you do just walk backwards. Imagine you trying to grab your drink. You try to drink it from holding it backwards. Like just imagine how your life would be just doing everything in reverse. So when you talk about the finances, most people are doing things in reverse. Yes, the bank is a funnel. Yes, the bank is a way to move and transfer funds. Yes, but it's not a place to hold your money. So if y'all want a new era, new strategy, then you have to start putting yourself in spaces that give you the new strategy. But when we give you the strategy, I want you to take advantage of it. So how many people here still use debit cards? If you still use a debit card, put that's me in the chat. If you still use, and don't be ashamed. Be for real. If you use a debit card, put that's me in the chat. Every time you use a debit card, you are technically wasting money. Debit card should be reserved for emergencies. Debit card, what should debit card be reserved for? Put it in the chat. What should a debit card be reserved for? Emergency. That's it. It's only for emergencies. Now you should have a credit card. You should not abuse your credit card. How do you use your credit card? You use your credit card for purchases that's going to bring you back something. Okay, cool. You might use it for your apartment, right? Or you might use it for your home. Hey, that's good, especially when you first get that brand new credit card and they say, hey, yo, spend $15,000 in the next 3 months and you're going to get 700,000 points. Okay, you run it up. But the point is, you're going to be able to pay that money right back, right? So we want to make sure that we're making investments. Everything that we're doing is just investments. It's not just putting our money in the bank and having it drain us. So I want to bring up a very special person. Not only is this guy my brother, not only is this guy one of my favorite people to be around, not only is this guy one of my best friends, but this guy has transformed my life, right? Because he showed me how to take business funding and leverage it to make a business out of it, to get money. Basically, I spend no money when it's time to create a business. So I made money on profits from other people's money, which we started to realize this was our people's money. So I have Jamel Newworlds, who's also known as Mr. Brooklyn Business. He's going to come up and he's going to teach you some ways. If you heard some of this before, I promise you, he has new ways. He put me in this whole new space. Like he got me this core. Look, I don't want to let me not do that. Let me just make sure y'all unmute yourselves. Send some love to the person who started this funding wave. This is King Jamel, Mr. Brooklyn Blizzard, Mr. Brooklyn Business, Mr. Brooklyn Everything. Look, I don't even want to get into it. Unmute yourself and let's clap it up, snap it up. Where's Jamel at? Can we bring Jamel to the front? Because this guy,
Yes, sir.
I can't even say
Let's
that.
go, Jamel.
Yeah. Go, yeah.
Let's
I'm
go.
getting what I'm
Okay,
getting.
business,
Go.
baby.
Yeah, let's go, King.
Let's
Salute.
go, King.
Bring it, King,
Salute.
bring it.
Salute.
Here, King.
Yes, King.
Yeah, let's go, King.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, King.
What
Woo,
up?
woo, woo,
Hold
woo,
on, hold on.
woo.
Before I get started, I just want to say,
All right, let me,
when you speak,
hold on, Rose. Hold on. Let me just. All right, you good now. You unmute yourself now. You good.
all right, y'all can hear me? All right. So before I get started, I just want to say basically like just being, on this accountability call and just seeing my brother speak and hearing him talk, like this stuff is not new. Like this stuff that we've been doing since like years. Like, and I just, it just brought back so many memories of us just locking in, speaking to each other, holding each other accountable, and the love that that my brother have, and just being around him really made me the person I am today. So I mean, I just always have a blessed and happy spirit every time I see my brother. So I just definitely love you, bro. But like, keep going. My name is Jamel, Mr. Brooklyn Business. I'm a licensed financial advisor. And what I do is that I specialize in repositioning our money into private reserves vehicles that's going to give our money credit protection, stock market returns, and tax-free growth. Just in case people don't know me, I've been in the banking and finance space for almost 10 years, and I got my start working for Bank of America. And to be short, I'm now a licensed financial advisor. I'm fully registered. And today we're going to be talking about how to leverage life insurance to hack the banks, the US banking system, and also to leverage our dollar for multiple purposes. But before we get started, if y'all know me, I'm big on, becoming a plug and, taking back our control for our money and cutting out the middleman. So before I get started, I just need everybody to drop the plug emoji in the chat and we're going to turn up. All right, bet. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. So before I get started, I want to show you guys my resume for a lot of different reasons. One is that I want to let you guys know that I'm certified to do this. I've been putting a lot of work. I'm a licensed financial professional, 10 years of financial experience. I'm securities industry certified. I got my Series 63. I got my Series 7. I'm a licensed wealth development coach. I own real estate. I'm an accredited investor. A lot of Americans can't even call themselves an accredited investor, and I am. And I generated over $20 million in tax-free income. And the reason why I say that is because actually, like it's not about, bragging. It's about the work I put in my field, in my craft. I come from nothing. I come from a first generation where we come from poverty, Section 8, and I did this on my own. I had the self-determination to really make something of myself. So people that's, that's starting out, that feel like, their mind is being stretched and, they're, a lot of stuff is coming at them so fast. That's the normal process of you becoming the person you want to become, because this took me years to get all these accolades and I'm still learning to this day. All right. So in the financial space, what we talk about is asset allocation versus asset location, right? So in the finance space, asset location is basically dividing your money up into different industries so you can lower your downside risk and heighten your potential to make a profit. But what a lot of people don't talk about in the finance space is asset location. That means that where you're actually having your money. And what we do is strategically placing our money into different vehicles that's going to maximize our potential. And we're going to talk about how we're going to leverage life insurance for that location. All right. So basically, this is the fun slide for me right here. So habit hack with life insurance. Now, a lot of people, they sell life insurance. They don't really understand the origin and the genesis of life insurance. So I want to talk to you guys about a habit hack of life insurance. That's a real fact, right? So in the beginning, there was a financial advisor and he worked for a brokerage and he had, a lot of wealthy clients, but he knew the power of life insurance, that when you put your money in a life insurance policy, you get tax-free benefits. So what he did was kind of design the policy in the inverse manner, because when you have a regular life insurance policy, you put a little bit of money in the policy to maximize the death benefit. But what he did was reverse it, meaning that he took out all the cost of insurance and minimized the death benefit, and he maxed out the cash value so you can really get the compounded interest tax free. So he took that idea and he took it to all his wealthy clients, to where all his wealthy clients started to leverage life insurance policies and take their money out of brokerage accounts and dump it into life insurance policies. At that time, they was paying less money on their less fees on their money.
Also, they was getting stock market returns 14%. On top of their $1 million, they was getting tax-free growth to a point to where the government itself had to step in and say, wait, we can't let this happen. Like we leaving too much money on the table. The government literally had to step in and say, we can't let this happen. So that's how much money that the wealthy was gaining and the government was actually losing. But the dope thing about it is that the government put regulations around it. So you see on the slide, it says TEFRA, TAMRA, and DEFRA. These are all acts that came about from the wealthy people putting too much money into a life insurance policy. But what the thing about it is that they still let you have the same benefits for life insurance, but you got to do it under certain regulations. So literally, life insurance is a literal like wealth building hack that has been known for years. This is nothing that's new, but the idea is that we understand it now. So what we got to do is do what the wealthy be doing and actually apply this information, apply this product. So like I said, me and my brother always talking, and we were just discussing new era banking, right? And we were just discussing the fact that, you know, the average American, we go to work, we work 40 hours, 60 hours here and there. You know, we missing birthdays. We got to make deadlines. We're waking up early. We in traffic. We spending so much time at work to get a check. And then we put that paycheck inside of a savings account or checking account. And that's about it. That's basically the life cycle of our money. But now what we do is we don't do that no more, right? We don't just allow that. We don't have our money on autopilot. We have better habits now. So what we do is called new era banking. And what that means is that there's a new standard that we have. And it's the intention of creating strategic partnerships for our money inside of accounts that benefit our money and not just a financial institution, right? So we got to be, before I go to the next slide, I just want everybody to drop in the chat new era banking, because that's the new standard for our money. And we got to keep on making sure we got that mindset. All right, so now I want to teach you guys about how the actual retail banking leverage us for their hack, right? And a lot of people don't know this, right? And it's called fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking is when the banks can, you know, take our money for deposits from the public and in return keep our money secure. That's basically the definition of fractional reserve banking. But the hack is that when the banks take our money, they only are obligated to keep 10% of our money on deposit, and then the rest of our money, 90% of our money, they can lend it out to borrowers, right? So what they doing now is literally making money off of our money with no hard work. It's a known fact that that banks make 9 times the amount of money on deposits, right? So that means that if you put $100,000 on deposit, before you take your money out the bank then made $900,000 off of your money, and you didn't see a dime from it. And if you do get any interest from it, you got to pay taxes on it. So this is what the bank been doing for years. Now, imagine that's just one person, but imagine this is going on in a global manner. This is what they've been doing. This is how they had this hack to really, you know, keep making money off of your hard-earned work. When you go to work and you bust your behind for that money, they actually making money from your hard work because you just bring them the money and they just leverage it out, right? So this is that's what they do. Another hack that we're a part of in the United States is called the IRS. We are literally a partner with the United States and we don't even know it. And they just hacking us because we don't got time to really think about how we can move our money under certain vehicles to avoid taxes, right? So roughly $10 trillion of our income are inside taxable retirement accounts. There's a reason why employers actually offer retirement accounts to their employees. It's because they get a tax benefit from it. It's not benefiting you, it's actually benefiting them. So the $10 trillion in a taxable account is way too much money, right? So if you go down, on average, this is all facts, 33% of our lifetime income goes towards taxes. So the average American makes $1.5 million, right, in their lifetime. That means that $500,000 go towards taxes. That's something that we can avoid because we got the knowledge now, right? Now, if you take it a little bit further, the W-2 employee, according to the IRS tax code, is literally taxed at the highest tax rate as opposed to any investor or any business owner. When you own a business, you get so many different benefits, so many different write-offs. If you're an investor and you keep an asset over a year, you can pay no taxes on that capital gain. But if you work in a W-2 job and you making over $250,000, you're getting taxed at a 37% tax rate before you even get paid. Uncle Sam was getting his money before you even get yours. right? So we got to figure out ways to get from under, the IRS tax code in the United States. Also, to go a little bit further, the American debt ceiling has increased, right? Right now, I think it just got approved a couple of weeks ago in return for spending cuts. And what that means is that they're going to find ways to try to save money here and there. But most likely that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is that they're going to increase the tax rate because you got the Tax Cut and Job Act that's going to expire in 2025. So if you believe it or not, we are living in the most tax-friendly environment. Right now, we're living in a low tax environment according to stats, right? So in 2025, that act is up. So that means that we're liable to pay more money in taxes when it comes to our money. And right now, the economy is trying to stabilize itself and try to get back the money that they push back into the economy. So some way they're gonna try to recoup that money. And that's one way is through taxes, right? So we got to figure out what we got to do to, to avoid taxes. And what we could do is leverage life insurance to avoid taxes. All right. So to continue on the last slide, 27% of Americans have a certified tax professional. And that number is it jumped out to me when I read it, because if 27% of Americans have a certified tax professional, what's the percentage of Black people that look like us, of minority that have a tax professional? Not a lot of people. It's a difference between a tax professional and an actual tax preparer. Like a tax preparer is somebody that just push paper, sign off, and that's it. But a tax professional is somebody that actually lower your tax liability throughout the year, right? So this is how we turn the IRS on our side and hack the IRS system, is by leveraging IRS code 7702, which is life insurance, right? So what's tax code 7702? Tax code 7702 is when you have a vehicle that's considered a life insurance contract as opposed to an investment vehicle. Now, it seems simple by definition, but it gives you so many different benefits to have your money in what's considered a life insurance policy as opposed to an investment vehicle. Why? Because when you have your money in an investment vehicle, you have something that's called required minimum distribution. Required minimum distribution is when you have your money in a 401k or retirement account, and if you retire and you're not taking that money out, the IRS is going to force you to take money out. It is called required minimum distribution, and it's going to be 50% in fees of what you should have took out for that year. Not only that, investment vehicles have a 59.5 rule. So that means that you're not even allowed to touch your money until you're 59.5. Now, a lot of times when people want to get their freedom, they're not 59.5 years old. I'm not 59.5 years old. I want my money now. I want to leverage it now so I can build wealth. So when you have an investment vehicle, you got to wait all these years just for you to take your money, which is not cool. And if you do decide to take, early withdrawals, they're going to penalize you, or you got to qualify, through a hardship. Also, you don't have control on what you actually invest your money into. It's only a small scope of investments you could actually leverage when it comes to an investment vehicle. Now, also, it's not credit protected. So that means that if you get sued, they can actually kind of depending on the account you have, they can freeze your assets. Now, if you have your money and just place your money into a life insurance contract, now you're hacking the system, because all those restrictions that you had on your retirement vehicle, you now have that flexibility. So now you can have your money in this policy for as long as you want. You can leverage it as soon as you want within 30 to 45 days, as long as you have the cash value. Also, there's no penalties for you to leverage it. You can actually invest in whatever you want to invest in. And actually, when you get sued for any reason, or if you want to qualify for any government program, whatever is in your actual life insurance policy, they can't use it in regards to your wealth. They have to just consider whatever that's outside of it. So that's how a lot of wealthy people actually, hide their assets and hide their cash, so they can actually qualify for government assistance and government programs. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to. So the benefits of a cash value life insurance policy when it comes to our money. So a cash value life insurance policy is a permanent private account between you and the insurance company, right? It's not public like the retail banking, because they leverage our money for their benefit. So when you have a life insurance policy, now you have more control over your money. You could dictate and figure out what you want to do with your money. And then also it gives you more buying power, because when you actually leverage your money, you got 2 buckets of money, but that's a different conversation. Also, you got diversification. You got stock market returns. You got tax-free growth. Then sometimes with different policies, you could have no market risk. You could have upside growth potential. You could use these policies for collateral for funding. So say if you want to qualify for a mortgage for real estate, you can leverage your life insurance policy, the cash value, to actually qualify for actual loan. Also, when you borrow against your policy, the actual loans against your policy are free. There's no charges when it comes to loans against your policy. If you go to a bank and get a regular loan, you getting charged probably 8%, 5%, whatever they want to charge you, right? A regular mortgage right now is going for 7%. But if you actually leverage your money in a side of a life insurance policy, you're not paying no interest on that, right? So now you're just making money and you saving money all different places. Also, you got liquidity. So if you have the money, the cash value available, and your life insurance policy, you can borrow it 100%. You got the tax-free death benefit for your heirs. God forbid something happens to you, your heirs are going to get a tax-free death benefit to them to take care of their education, whatever you need for them to do. Also, if you get terminally sick, you can leverage the death benefit for your own expenses. If you have to do any medication, any assisted living, long-term care, you can do so many things with this one product and this one policy that gives your dollars so much power. Now, this is how basically the average American approach their money versus how the wealthy approach their money. So the average money approach is like they have a job on 9 to 5, typically have just one source of income, right? They have a 401k. They may or may not have a 401k. And if they do have it, it's taxed, right? Also, they have no life insurance, or if they do have insurance, it's probably temporary insurance, and they have consumer debt, credit card debt, stuff like that, right? But if we're talking about money hacks, we got to do things the opposite way, right? So this is what the wealthy do when it comes to, and the wealthy do a multitude of things outside of what's on the slide. But what the wealthy have is life insurance. When a child is born in a wealthy family, the first thing they do is open up a life insurance policy on that child. First thing they do. Why you think that there's people that when you go and try to find properties, there's people that got the one up on you because they already got millions of dollars from their father and their mother and a life insurance policy, and they could buy that crib, the house cash, where you can't. You got to go get qualified. They already got it in their account. They good to go. So they beating you to the punch. But now we smart enough, we could do the same thing for our people and our family, right? Wealthy people own real estate. It's tax advantages when it comes to real estate. Also, they have businesses. They have multiple streams of income. Also, what wealthy people do is leverage debt for profit. And when you have debt, when you taking in debt, it's tax advantage as opposed to when you are making money. When you're making money, it's a taxable event. You got to pay taxes on income. But if you borrow against your assets that you have already, you pay no taxes on that, right? But that's another conversation. All right. So like I was saying before, with the new banking era, me and my brother, we were just talking, and we were just coming together to really, have this new product that's really different. It's a life insurance product, and we call it a Mailbox Millionaire account. The reason why we call it a Mailbox Millionaire account is because you only can get this account from me. Like literally, if you search for any other financial advisor, any other insurance agent, they cannot give you this type of account. It really has to come from me because it's designed a certain way, period. So a Mailbox Millionaire account is the first of its kind. It's designed for growth and accumulation. It has high early cash value, meaning that when you want to borrow against it and you need the money for an opportunity or investment, it's there. You don't have to wait, for surrender charges, things of that nature. It has high cap rates, meaning that your money is more invested and it gets more compounded interest over time. You could actually make money in a down market. Sometimes with an IUL, you can't make money in a down market, but you could actually make money in a down market or in a flat market. You got 25 plus investment options. You can customize your own downside risk, meaning that if somebody that's more risk friendly and they want to really have their money just working hard in the market, you can do that. But if you're a person that want to customize your risk tolerance, say if you want a 10% buffer, just in case the market goes down 10%, you can do that. If the market goes down 20%, you can do that. You can customize it so it's really flexible. And this is what we like to do as Mailbox Millionaires, is be in control of everything that we actually have our hands on. It's credit protected. Also, you got a loyalty bonus. What that loyalty bonus is basically means that if you put a certain amount of money in this policy within the first few years, then the company itself will literally pay you a portion of money inside your account. So now you're getting more money on top of the money that you already have in the account. So Mailbox Millionaire accounts for corporations. Now, this is the account that, that my brother just got actually approved for, and it's for high net worth individuals or businesses. So if you're a person that really want to make sure that you have your money accessible to you, because with life insurance policies, there's different qualifications for the accessibility of your policy. But if you have a certain amount of money, you qualify for a Mailbox Millionaire account for corporations. If you have a business and if you have the money to actually fund this product, where you can have so many different benefits. The benefits having an actual corporate policy is that you can leverage it for private reserves for your business. You got 100% cash value available. So off immediately, you can leverage 100% if you want to, 100% of the cash value that's in your account. You got business credit protection. That means you get another layer of protection on your money. You got 85 investment options. Also, you can leverage it for collateral for loans, and also it's designed for private money lending. So if you're a person that want to lend out money, and practice hard money lending, you can do that. This is where the wealthy always use these policies for private money lending, because it's self-directed and you getting all this money, all this compounded interest on your money, all while you're lending out your money again on the front end, getting all the admin fees, all this different type of stuff. This is the type of policies that the actually wealthy actually use. And now we got the opportunity to do it. So my brother is literally the first one to actually have one of these accounts. And I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. And this is what we do. We actually create generational wealth, and we doing real things, real wealth building practices behind the scenes. Like, we don't just come out here and talk a good game. We really be putting in the work when it comes to really financial planning. This is what we actually do. So, tomorrow, that's the end of my presentation. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going in deep diving into, these products and, the format of it, long-term in detail. If you guys, want to speak to me, I can drop my Calendly link in the chat. And I could go over some strategies when it comes to life insurance for you. And if anybody got some questions, I got you. Just let me know.
That was great. That was tremendous. That was a lot of game. If y'all felt that was something powerful, let us know in the chat. Put the plugs in the chat. Thank you, Jamel, for helping me get that policy and just setting me up on success with that. I thank you 100%, because for us to really come from broken down home to see where we're at now, bro, it's been a long journey, but we already knew this was coming. Since we used to play with toys in the Poconos, and we used to make little films and stuff, like, bro, I thank you for just being that person of always looking to stretch yourself, always looking to see yourself as on a higher level, and really going out there to acquire the knowledge and tools and skill set in order to accomplish that. I love you, brother, with all my love that I could give. We something about us that we just got a special bond. So I thank you, brother, for just coming up here and sharing and give that valuable information. If anybody have some questions, we want to take some questions, but I want to say this. Jermaine, if you're in here, Jermaine, can you drop that file inside the chat? Because what we want to do is we want to give y'all a toolkit, right? So it's a wealth building toolkit. If you just follow some of these strategies in here, it will help you out a long way, right? Just don't, we wanted to put a price on it just so you could pay attention to it, because you already know, just like I always talk about, if I give you a t-shirt, the next day I'm gonna see you sleeping in it, right? Like, because if I give you a free shirt, you're gonna go to sleep in it. So if you get stuff for free, you don't treat it as well as you would treat something that you have to pay for. But we're not gonna charge you for this at all. We're just gonna give it to you. So we're gonna put the toolkit inside the chat, and you can just download that and just use that as a guide when it comes to how to work your finances, when it comes to where you should put your money at, just understanding certain things, passive income, and just pretty much the things that you already know, just reinforcing it in your mind. We're going to drop that calendar link again, so that way, if you do want to book a one-on-one discovery call, if you do want to put yourself in the game, as I mentioned, this is the new era of banking. Once again, you have to put yourself in position for success. Sunshine, if anybody's raising their virtual hands, will you call on them so that way they can ask questions and Jamel can kind of serve?
Absolutely, King. I got you. King Michael, come talk to us, King.
I ain't gonna lie, you caught me off guard, right? So that was really that was very intriguing. So you mean to tell me that y'all want to create a whole nother banking joint where you can leverage your money and actually be able to, invest in assets and all that other stuff?
Correct. Essentially, yes. Yep. It's 100% true. You can actually leverage a different banking system, and this system is really a private system, and it's not really like information that the public really knows. It's really something that you really have to know to be like, you have to have a financial advisor, and they understand this. This has been going on for years. So now you have the opportunity to use it, and when you have your money in these policies, your money is still growing while you're using it for other investments. So now you're making your money work twice as hard just by having it into this one policy.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother, that this was some great information. I truly appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Appreciate you, King. Queen Aries, come talk to us, Queen.
Good morning. Would this be similar to infinite banking is what you're talking about?
Yes, but there's different products for different people. So you got so yeah, it is infinite banking, but there's the products that I'm talking about is a little bit different from anybody else that offer it.
So I have a VUL. Is that close to it, or would it have been better to have a ULI?
IUL, VUL, it's all well. So VUL is great if you have a higher risk tolerance and you want your money to work harder for you. If you want like somebody that want to put a lot of money into a policy and you kind of risk averse and you don't want to lose money, then you go with the IUL. But as far as the corporate life insurance policy, there's a certain type of criteria as far as that. But VUL is a certain type of product. You can still leverage infinite banking with it as well too.
And you said it's called corporate what?
A corporate owned life insurance policy.
Oh, nice. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you, Queen. King Ryan, come talk to us, King. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. There you go.
Talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said Ryan, sorry. So my question is for Mr. Jamel. How you doing today? Thank you for sharing the information. So my question is, what would be considered high net worth?
Well, you have to have the proper funding for it, like So we have to have a like a one-on-one conversation. You have to have the funding for it, and I don't want to like say numbers and stuff like that and discourage people, but you have to have a certain amount of money for it. But it's doable, but but I would have to speak to you one-on-one on it.
Right. So the reason I ask is because combined between my insurance policies and the value of my property, I was just wondering if I would qualify for that. So how can I reach out to you?
Or I dropped my link in the chat. If you could just schedule a one-on-one call with me, and I can help you out from there, brother.
All right. Thank you very much.
Got you.
Queen Jazz, come talk to us, Queen.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Jamel.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning, King. So my question is quick. Do I have this already?
Nah, you got a great product, but this is something different. Like this is something that's this is
new.
Yeah, it's new.
This is new.
It's exclusive. Yeah.
So the conversion gonna be smooth for me. Like I'm straight.
I got you for sure. Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to hear. I knew it. I just wanted to hear it. So, okay. Have a great. Bye, y'all.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Queen Jonelle, come talk to us, Queen. Are you there, Jonelle?
I'm here. Good morning. Good morning.
Grand Rising, Queen.
I was trying to download his PDF. Okay, I have two quick questions. Can you roll over your 401 or your 457 over to your insurance?
Yes, you can. You just have to contact your employer to see if they allow you, because sometimes your employer don't allow you to roll it over unless you're not employed with them. But if your employer allows you to roll over your retirement, yes, absolutely you can.
Okay, and then what about annuities?
Well, yeah, you can
All of that?
Yeah, you can do that. Yep, yep, you can.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, yeah, that was my question. And
Yeah.
then, okay, what about I work for the city, but I'm about to retire, and I'm gonna have to roll over my 457 someplace else. So how does that work? Would I get taxed on that, even though
Well, with those accounts, you will have to pay taxes. Now it depends on your age and if you get hit with a penalty. But these are all those products are deferred accounts. So when you do roll it over, you still have to pay taxes. So that's the thing about retirement accounts, is that once you put your money in, regardless if you roll it over, you take it out, withdraw, you're gonna have to pay taxes on it. So you already gonna have to pay taxes regardless. But it's a way of how you can lower your tax liability while you're doing it.
okay, and what you guys are doing for this digital coin system that's coming?
Well, I don't really get into that right now. I don't want to speak on that. I don't speak on something I don't know for sure. So, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sound like you need to get on that calendar, boo. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
okay.
All right, Queen.
Thank you.
No problem. Queen Roro, come talk to us, Queen.
Hi, okay, so I have a question. Don't laugh at me, y'all. So I need to know the difference between life insurance, a IUL, and a trust. It's just I'm thinking everything is the same thing. Like I'm okay, I'm just trying to know the difference, because I'm just trying to get it together over here. So can you please explain what's the difference between the three of them? Are they the same thing or what?
Okay, yeah. So life insurance and IUL is the same thing. IUL is just a permanent life insurance policy. That's just what it is, and at its core. A trust account is literally something different. You could literally put your life insurance policy inside of a trust. So that's two different things, where that's a whole nother play you can do. But as far as an IUL, it is a life insurance policy, but it's a type of life insurance policy for for your risk tolerance. That's all it is.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Jamel.
It looks like that's about all the questions we have. I believe that was the last hand. King Crew, coming back up.
All right, so yeah, 100% great stuff. Once again, we want to provide value this way because we feel, we think that we want to make sure your habits are great, right? And I mentioned that earlier. I want to put an emphasis on that. So if you see a way that you can transform your money habits, put it in the chat. I just want to know, what if you feel that there's a way that you could transform your money habits, I want you to just let us know inside the chat, because I want you to be aware of it. As I mentioned, everything that you do as a human is manifestation, right? The real world is the thought world. That's the real world. And you take your real world ideas and you put them into reality. Everybody has reality. You just have a different version of what we will call reality. But you can do the same thing, where you can say, okay, I want to make $1 million by the end of this year. And it's inside of your actual world, but you have to be able to know the tools and strategies to take it from this thought to put it into a place that now you can touch it. Because think about it, everything that you once wanted or once had came from the mind, right? So it's just literally, it's just how strong can you become a person that's using your brain for free? How strongly can you transform your habits to filter or funnel in what you actually want? And that's really why we bring up different people. That's why we brought up, Dash the first week, and she talked about LLC structuring, right? Because if you don't even have an LLC, some of these things are not possible. But then Jamel just showed you without an LLC, you can have something that's possible, right? So we're just giving you multiple ways and multiple strategies on how to not tell yourself no and how to tell yourself yes. Everybody put yes in the chat. If you've been a person that's always telling everybody else yes, you've been a person that's always, quote unquote, putting everybody else first, this is the time you need to say yes to you. This is the time you need to say yes. right? I need to say yes. And it's not being negative to anybody else. It's just being totally positive to yourself. So when we have somebody like Jamel come in, who is, a true professional and a licensed professional at that when it comes to wealth building, you want to be able to start to utilize your network, right? Because that's what you pay for to get into these programs. You pay for your network, you pay for the opportunities. But one thing I don't want to, miss, or I don't want to go over your head, you must write these things down. When you write them down, you spell. When you speak, you spell. When you manifest these things into reality, you have to do what we call spelling. See, so a lot of time, most people, they just sit down, they just think, and okay, that's good, but you got to speak it, you got to talk it, you got to walk it, you got to actually do the tools and have the skill set to bring it into life. So drop the Calendly link one more time, just in case, if anybody wants to book a discovery call. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Okay, if anybody want to book a discovery call, definitely do it. All right, Betty had a hand up, Sunshine. So let's bring up Betty.
Queen Betty, come talk to us, Queen.
Good morning. I just have a question. Is there a minimum amount that we need to open one of these?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. There's technically no minimum amount, but you just have to be aware that if you do shortchange yourself and you do like $100 a month, don't expect to see any cash value, any growth, because if you got anything in life, you have to put in to get out. So if you're thinking that you're gonna, not put in enough, you just won't see it a lot. That's all it is. So you just have to lower expectations. But if you're somebody that put in a good enough amount, you're definitely gonna see the potential of the vehicle.
Okay, so can we add as we go, or is this something like you got to do it right now and then that's it, you locked in?
No, that's the good thing about it, is that it's completely flexible. So when we go into discovery, we could design the policy to your liking. So say for right now, you probably don't have a lot of you want to like invest in something else. So you want to, you don't want to put too much money into the policy, but then in year 2, year 3, you'll probably have a property, or you want to borrow against a property, or you just have a lot of money. You could just put more money into that, something like that.
Okay, perfect. That's what I needed. Thank you.
So just for clarity purposes on anybody who's thinking, right, we would say get started, right? So you put $100 in this month, that's totally fine. Just next month, you want to start to raise that up a little bit. We really want to say $250 per month is where you'll start to see growth, right? Depending on your type of policy. But I just want to be clear, you can start with 50, you can start with 100, just like Jamel said, but you will shortchange yourself in the long run. So if you start with that, just have the mindset that you won't end with that, right? So you could start with 100, then the next month you could do 150, then the next month you could do 75, then the next month you could do 500, right? It's something that you can actually do when it comes to the flexibility. So please, don't shortchange yourself just because right now you may believe, damn, I don't have the 100, or damn, I don't have 250. Like, you could actually become flexible with this. And like I mentioned, 50 today, 200 next month, 50 the next one, 300 the next one, but you want to meet that minimum that we set. And Jamel will talk to you and walk through that with you, so that way you have a clear picture and be able to, really put yourself in that financial game that you really want. And that's making collecting money and building wealth. So let's go to the next person, Sunshine.
King Linwood, come talk to us, King.
How y'all doing? You basically just answered my question, because I was gonna ask like what's a good amount to start putting in there, but I think you said 250.
Right. Jamel, you want to elaborate on that just so they can get a clear picture? But yeah, I'll say 250 to start seeing growth.
Okay. Yeah, because I came in a little late. My bad. I had to go stop at the bank and stuff.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so $250 is a good starting point, and then you want to work your way up. You definitely don't want to shortchange yourself. It's like if you have a Porsche, right? If you have a Porsche and you're just driving it to the corner store, like, you're not going to see the performance of the car, but you have a Porsche. But if you actually, have a Porsche and you really pushing it to the limit, you're going to see what the Porsche is actually made for. So that's the same kind of analogy when it comes to the policies as well too.
Okay, definitely. I have one more question.
Okay.
Whole life, or that's like just like for the death benefit?
Say that first part. I didn't hear the first part.
Whole life. I don't know if that's the right term for it. That's just like based on my knowledge for right now.
But yeah. Good question, bro. I appreciate that. So you have different types of permanent policies. You have whole life, which is a permanent policy. You got an IUL, which is a permanent policy, VUL. These are all permanent policies, but the difference is the actual the compounded interest. With a whole life, you have a fixed rate, but it's not going to be high. You know, and then, say if the market is down or up, you can get that fixed rate. Say for example, it's 4%, but if the market is doing 10%, you're only going to get that 4%, but it's guaranteed, it's fixed, right? Then now you got the IUL, where you're taking on a little bit more risk, meaning that you can get that 10% and stuff like that. But if the stock market is doing like is going negative, then you will get 0%. Stuff like this. So more risk depending on like your time horizon and like how much money you want to put into it. So stuff like that. Also with a VUL, it's different ways, you know, it's different things like that. So so that's what it is.
Okay, definitely. So which one do you recommend for so we get I know it go off preference, but I'm trying to have mine compound, but I'm trying to make mine my own bank for the future.
If I'm being honest, it all depends on your horizon, your age. If you're a young person, I definitely say go with the VUL. If you're a person that's doing like $250 a month, you know, and you're young, go with the VUL. If you're a person that got 50,000, 100,000, you know, consistently, and you don't want to lose your money, you know, I would put it in IUL. You know, if you're a person that that want to use it for business purposes, then you do it with a corporate owned life insurance policy. Now you can leverage it for business purposes and stuff like that. So there's all different aspects of leveraging these policies depending on what you want to do.
Okay, yeah, I'm a young person. I'm 20 years old. I probably go with the VAs, but I'm definitely going to ask some questions on the phone before I pick anyone.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, I got you for sure.
And make sure you
set
up a consultation, King Linwood. Real quick, King Jamal, we had a question in the chat. Somebody was asking, Ty was asking, what about the minimum to leverage it within 35 to 40 days? Do you have a recommendation for that?
You have to max. That's a good question. So you have to max out whatever your policy is. So say if the max is 5,000, you have to put in 5,000, and then in the first year, if you put in 5,000, you won't be able to borrow the entire amount. You can borrow like probably like 80 to 90%, maybe 70%, depending on like the cost of insurance. But if you're somebody that really want to leverage your money within 30 to 45 days, then like there's other vehicles for you. But I'm gonna be real, if I'm being honest, these policies is geared towards long-term benefits. So if you're a person that want to put money in, and then I would say put the money in that you really don't need right now, so there's different ways you could structure your finances so it can work for you still.
Absolutely, we appreciate you, King. King Jose, come talk to us, King.
Can you hear me?
We can
Something
hear
just popped up. Okay. This is the reason why I joined this whole package. And I'm glad that you guys are talking about this right now because it's been on my mind. I just want to know if I add my daughter, my son into this somehow. Would it benefit them? I know there's something maybe we could schedule and talk about it. I just real quick so I could just marinate on it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's a good question. Absolutely. You can put your child as the actual like insured on your policy. And then when your child turns like 21, 25, and they're money savvy, you could literally transfer the policy over to them and they can literally have their own bank. And from that point on, that's one of my favorite plays to do. Because I'm about generational wealth. I'm about the next generation. So that's really how you give the next generation a head start right then and there.
So I want, if I do get into this, that's my goal to, I see this as generational wealth type handing down. I don't fully understand it, and I definitely want to jump on this. Yeah. Like you said, a good amount right now would be like $200 and something like that just to get it started.
Yeah, so if you have like a young child, $200, $250 would be perfect. Over a longer period of time for sure.
And like you said, I didn't realize this. You could actually start using that money within 30 days. You were saying?
Yes, if you max out the policy and you have cash value within 30 to 45 days, you can leverage that money that's in the policy. Yes, you can. Absolutely.
So the policies, when you get a policy, you have to say, oh, I want to do like a $10,000 policy, and then you could actually raise it after. Like,
Yeah, so you have to like inform us first, like, okay, right now I want a range of like of contribution between 10 and 15,000, and then we design a policy like that for you, so where when you have 15,000, you can put in 15,000. So then you could reduce it if you want to. But if you ever get into a situation where you got more than 15,000, then all you gotta do is just open up another policy. That's all.
okay, I got more questions, but I guess I'll schedule some, and we'll get more deep into it.
Consultation, King Jose, consultation.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love this. I love, yeah.
Jose, Sunshine was about to get on you, brother. She was about to say, I know you ain't got no more questions right now. So you saw it, yeah, better not questions. All right, so here's a hack for everybody, because to be totally transparent, what Jamel keeps saying is like, yo, you have to have a lot of money to be able to put money in and take it and use it right away. Like if you think that you're going to take $200, put it in and be able to start utilizing money the next month, that's not going to happen. But here's the hack. We've taught you how to get funding, right? If you get 50K in funding, you can take that whole entire funding that you got from 50K and you can put it in that life insurance policy and be able to now leverage that. Now you're able to take the money and borrow against it because you maxed out your policy, right? Especially if you putting 20K per year in, or like I said, 50K a year in. But you want to leverage all of the strategies that we're providing you to be able to do what it is that you want to do. But this is why we ask you to write down your goals. This is why we ask you to write down your commitments. This is why we ask you to write down research, right? Because you need to understand what's happening, because you're getting so much information. You're only going to retain 30% of it. That's the what we will call the poll rate, right? Doing a poll, we figured out, okay, 30%, you only retain 30% of information that you hear. So out of this whole class, you're only going to retain 30%, right? So that's why we encourage you to write this stuff down, because now, like I said, you can get the funding. Let me just show you our roadmap real quick. You go get the funding. You get 25K or 50K, whatever you can get. 25K. You get 25K in funding. You open up your insurance policy, you take that same exact money, you dump it in and you max out the policy. You max out the policy, you can borrow against that policy. Let's say you got an opportunity now, you don't have any, your card is maxed out already right now. Your card is maxed out already. What you can actually do is this. You can pay back the money on the card, get some points off the card. So now you got some money from the points that you paid on the card for making that payment back into the credit card. And then what you could do now, you got that money back on the credit card. If you have a property, now you can use that same money to go ahead and pay down and get a down payment on a new property. Once you get that down payment on a new property and you close out on that property, you put some money into it, okay, to fix it up, whatever the case may be, and you refinance within that same year span, you can now go back into your policy and repay yourself back into that policy. And now you just got policy, you got funding, and you have a real estate property, all with zero money out of your pocket. You understand? If that's something that you would love to do, put "that's me" in the chat, because literally it doesn't take you money to make this happen for you. You have to know the strategy to make this happen. So I'll say it again, once again for you. You don't, I know y'all saying, I got $200, I got $100. You could literally go get funding right now. You get anywhere from 25 to 50K. You set up that policy with Jamel. You take that funding, you put it into that policy. You can pull that money back as you max funded, depending on your surrender date or depending on what your policy is. Now, okay, you pull that money back off, you pay the car back, you now have another X amount of dollars to go spend again, right? You could take that money that you just put back into the car, right back off the car, put it into real estate. Now you get a property, right? Down payment or whatever the case may be, depending on whatever you get, right? Now, once you get that property, you can refinance, you can pay back yourself with the IUL policy, and you can pay back the money on the credit card, and you can still be able to get all of this with no money down. So when we're saying this is why I keep encouraging everybody to do the work, because if you start doing the work, what happens is you realize that everything that you want is right near you. When they talk about if you hang around 5 broke people, right, you'll be the sixth one. So it's the same thing. Like, this is why we have this community. So when you hang around people who are thinking and building outside the box and giving you strategies that's going to actually enhance your life, now you become the next person that's utilizing these strategies to enhance your life. So once again, this is not something that's far-fetched for anybody. It's looking at it and saying, how the heck can I get this done? This is why we ask you to remove your negative self-talk and only put the positive talk in your mind of how can I get it done? No excuses, just find a solution. So once again, Smitty gave you the game, Ramel gave you the game, Boone gave you the game, Jamel gave you the game. And there's other people who come and add different layers to it. But I'm just allowing you to start writing things down so you can start building out your roadmap for what it looks like for you in obtaining what you want. All right. So once again, this is all doable with zero. How much money do you need to run these plays? Put it in the chat, just so we're clear on what I just said. Sunshine, what's up, Queen?
So I just had a quick question. You just gave an example about 25 to 50K. So say, for instance, you had funding for 300K and you wasn't sure of what to do with it yet. What kind of leveraging can you do? Or would you recommend like taking that same play, taking that 300K and putting it into a policy and sitting it there? How would it look to be paying back that those cards with that? Like,
without a doubt, I would do that, right? It's not even a question, because when you can max fund it, when you get especially the products that Jamel is talking about, when he created this Mailbox Millionaire account, like what he's talking about, that is something that you could do with what he's talking about. Really take that money, be able to invest it, and be able to pull it out the next month. Because you think about it, it's almost as if you're lending to yourself. If you don't have any money, you can't really lend to yourself. But if you have money, you lend to yourself. Like, you wouldn't mind lending to yourself. So in this case, it's the same thing, right? You have a policy, you're lending to yourself in this policy. So when you put the money into it, right, it's like, okay, I already know I got 300K. I got 200 left over. Let's say you just put 100K. I got 200 left over. Yo, you're good. You're good to make moves. So now you could take out that money from that policy and be able to move it around. But yes, 100%, if you got $300,000 in funded, this is a no-brainer for you. It's not, you shouldn't even be looking for anything else. I would be focused on how do I make this 10x.
And so, King Jamel, what would be the best policy to run a play with that as far as using that? If you had that kind of money, what would be the best policy to use for that?
Hold up, he's on mute. Mute him.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. Yeah, corporate owned life insurance policy is definitely that. So if you have that type of funding, but also I got to, just hash out all the details of your play to make sure everything is good, So but in short, yeah, with a $300,000 play like that, corporate owned life insurance for sure.
Gotcha. Appreciate you, King.
Once again, how much money do you need to actually make this possible? Just put it in the chat, because I really want you to understand that we're the reason why we bring you these opportunities, so you can't say no to yourself. That's it. For years, we've been saying no to ourselves. So we're giving you this to change your habits. So saying no is a habit. So we want to say yes, but you have to get around the people who know what they're talking about in order for you to do what you want to do. So that's why we put this together. We talk about strategic partnerships. We talk about building your network, talk about building your community. Everybody here has to partner up with some people. We look at the Fantastic Five. When you look at people who are coming together, you look at the groups that they're saying, hey, look, I know I can't do it by myself. I'm not even going to attempt to, but I'm going to make sure I can do everything that I need to do. You do everything that you need to do. So when we come together, we do everything that we want to do. And that's how you're really going to explode. You don't have to be the one that has everything. You don't have to be the one to find the opportunity, get the money. You don't have to do all of that. But what you have to do is be the best version of yourself. So when we have these accountability calls, when we have these programs, when we have class today at 8, like all of these different things, we're instructing you to become the best version of yourself. So please, everybody write this down. So right now, let's just take a moment, go onto the luhvplus.com, go inside the app, and then put down your goals and commitments for today. Once you do that, first of all, while you're doing that, I want everybody to do that. While you're doing it, I want to bring up a couple people who've done it on Monday, who's done it on Monday, and it has worked for them. Like writing down your goals, your commitments, and then acting on it. Has that helped you? So can we just take a few hands for that? We're gonna keep Jamel here just in case of any questions. But anybody, like anytime going forward from now on, if we go over 9:30 and we're kind of talking and doing things, you should be doing work. You should not just be on the camera. Like I mentioned, like Aries, other people. I'm just gonna keep bringing up the same names because those are the individuals who will be doing things, such as Moya, right? People who will get on these calls, 9:30 hit, you still got to be doing work now, right? So don't just get on these calls just to listen. Like have it playing in the background, or if 9:30 hit, now let's get to work now. Everybody should be getting to work now. If y'all want, we can start moving our group work sessions. So group work sessions are sessions where people come together to do individual work, not necessarily talking to each other, but it motivates each other to get into a space where we're all doing work at the same time. If this is something that you would like for us to do, we can do that. Once 9:30 hits, it can become group work session time. You can start just doing work. And if you have any questions, any concerns, somebody might be there to answer that or help it along the way versus you doing work by yourself and getting distracted. So I didn't see any hands go up. So I don't know. Sunshine, can you reiterate that for us just so we can understand what's going on?
I didn't see any hands go up either, King. So anybody that actually did the work from Monday, this is actually hump day. So you have Monday and Tuesday that actually took the time out to put their goals or commitments, your alliterations, anything that you decided to do work on the app, and you actually seen in real time your focus and how it worked for you. Please raise your hand, and in 30 seconds or less, let's talk about it. Thank you, family. King Ryan, come talk to us, King.
How y'all doing again? So Monday, since I started actually writing down my goals, my list was kind of long, so it actually ended up taking a couple days to get through it, but I was able to accomplish it. And I do credit the habit of writing these things down for actually helping me stay focused, and actually helping me just making sure these things get done no matter how long it takes. So just wanted to share that.
We appreciate you, King. Y'all show King Raheem some love in the chat, family. King Linwood, come talk to us, King.
Yeah, since I've been writing mine down, because I've been at work still also, but I have completed 95% of my goals. I just gotta get one more in that 30 down. And I end up getting, well, I heard something like don't mess with security cards because my credit, I'm in the mix of fixing it right now. And I went to go get a secure loan, but I ended up getting a secure card that day. But I did write down most of my goals, and I ended up completing most of them. It's still some of that I'm completing today, but I did most of them. And there was more certainty with it, rather than me just having it in my head instead of me writing it down.
Is just credit score bad?
It's not bad. I just have inquiries on mine right now. Like I have a total of 18 inquiries. I filed in my FTC report. I called them 2 days ago. Actually, they said in 3 days it's going through review, and I'm gonna call back again tomorrow.
Okay, well then, I wouldn't waste time on the secure loan or the secure card. Just go ahead and run the plays that Smitty told us to do as far as like those 10 things that you could do to raise your score. I would go ahead and look into those accounts that he had put up there, run that call back, look at that information. It was actually a sheet, a slide that he posted. I would go look into some of those.
Okay, slide that he posted on where? On the Facebook app or on?
It was in the first meeting when he started speaking about credit.
Okay, so on the first replay?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely, King. There was another question, King Jamel, that I seen in the chat from one of our mentees that asked that if your kids aren't insurable, well, whether or not they are insurable if they have any diagnosis or disease. You're on mute, King.
All right, yeah. So it all depends on the severity of the diagnosis. So this is why it's very important for us to book a discovery call, because it's on a one-to-one basis, and I can give you a guidance specifically on your situation. But don't get discouraged if you have somebody have a diagnosis. We can figure it out.
Okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Queen. Please go ahead and book a consultation. We appreciate you. Queen Toby, come talk to us, Queen.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I was just calling to say since our last, so I was just coming up to say, since our last call, I was able to utilize the app. I was naturally someone that liked writing things down. I was already doing my time slots and everything, but after our last call, I was like, you know what? I need to be more consistent at things. So I kind of changed my perspective of the app, of using it to form even better habits. So being able to go on there and do the things that I need to do and check it off the list felt really good. So just being consistent in doing that, just to strengthen my consistency, has been helpful. So thank y'all for that.
Absolutely.
And thank y'all for listening as well. I appreciate the safe space.
It sounds like you are in the Stone Tablet group with me, because King Crew gets on me about everything as far as me writing everything down. I am a big notebook person, and so I do write everything down, but it's okay. You know, we still getting it done, so there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. I believe that was the last person. King Crew, we good? How you feeling? You there, King?
Yeah, I'm here. So let's close out. Once again, this was great. I love adding value. I love the fact that Jamel came up here. Thank you, Jamel, for just coming up here and showing out. I really love it because when we were younger, we didn't get this information. And I'm gonna be honest, when we were in school and we had people come up for like open school night, they didn't, even talk about entrepreneurship, right? So being able to put these systems in place, this is important, right? So becoming your own bank. We also have ways to have your own life insurance, health insurance, right? So that's something else that we'll break down too at a later point, that I think that some of you entrepreneurs will love, because some of you stay at the corporate job for what we call these quote unquote perks. And they're not really perks. They just kind of, pull us in placeholders. I call them placeholders. It make us feel like we want to stay around the job, even though we know that job is not really serving in the highest alignment. But we do as entrepreneurs. You said what?
The golden handcuffs. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's the golden handcuffs. So, and the thing about it is we want to break free from the chains, right? And one of the ways to break free from the chains is understanding, having knowledge, but being able to apply it. That's where the power is. So everybody, can we unmute? Can we clap it up? Can we snap it up? Sunshine, can you take us out?
Absolutely. Y'all
I'm on the road.
Noise for King Jamel. He did amazing. Let's go.
So let's go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
the information.
Thank you for the knowledge, King.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, King Jamel.
We so appreciate you, King. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for dropping all of those gems. I'm quite sure you should have some appointments on that Calendly, because apparently the community needs you, and thank you for doing everything that you do. We appreciate you on every level. So thank you, King Jamel.
Thank you. Likewise.
All right, family. We are about to close out. The information in these calls and everything that we have going on in here is absolutely amazing. And I hope that you're getting all the value that you need out of this community, out of this mentorship program altogether. And basically, if you're looking at, everything that we have going on, you start to realize that if you literally just master your mindset, you can master everything that's going on in your life. That's how you basically change your entire life. And the only other thing that I want to say to that is, like, literally, when I look at everything that has started to transform in my life in every aspect, it all started when I started to really prioritize the things that were really, really important as far as my goals are concerned. Everything that I say and I speak on that I actually want, I literally had to start moving and operating out of priority of what I want to accomplish as far as my goals. And so all of us need to keep that at the forefront of our minds. Whatever it is that you're literally trying to work towards daily, put that at the top of your list. So kings and queens, it's not the dishes, it's not the laundry, it's not sweeping the floor, it's not anything that we could get anybody else to actually do for us. It's the things that we're kind of a little bit nervous about tackling is some of the hardest things that we probably don't want to do. And I would suggest, honestly speaking, one thing that I've started to do, and it hasn't been the easiest, is put the hardest things or the things that aggravate your nerves the most, that you really are running away from, tackle those first, get it out the way. But just start moving the needle, family, and just know that y'all got this, and we in this together. So I love y'all to life. I just need to know who's coming up here to do these alliterations today. Let's talk about it, family. Who's that? King Ryan with the baby. You taking us out, King Ryan, with that beautiful baby? Did you just
Hey,
have?
Sunshine, I'm gonna be honest, I accidentally raised my hand.
Oh, okay.
I just really
What?
wanted to tell you you're doing a great job and you need to get that talk show going.
Not a talk show. Wait a minute.
Talk show. You knew
Oh,
Oprah.
thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. And please kiss that baby for me. I love the babies. I love the kids, y'all.
This one too.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Thank you so much, King. I so appreciate you in every way.
Yeah,
Family, who's taking us out? Who's taking us out? Who's taking us out? Who's taking us out with these affirmations, family? I know you're not in here getting shy because we have company. Nobody? How many people we got on here?
I could do an affirmation.
Is that Toby?
Yes, this is Toby.
Man, Queen, you better come on through here and stop playing with us. You done blessed us with how the mindset started shifting and changing just like that. Like, come on, Toby. Let's go, Queen. I absolutely love it. Take us out, everybody. Unmute, unmute, unmute.
All right.
Whoever you are, Queen.
Okay. I am a gift.
I am a
I
gift.
am a gift. I am a gift.
I am the one.
I am
the one.
And I will lead my community into financial freedom.
And I will lead my community into financial freedom.
I am grateful for who I was always meant to be.
I am grateful for who I was always meant to be.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Absolutely love it. And I'm a Mailbox
Millionaire. Let's go,
Let's go, let's go.
Let's go, family. I want y'all to go out here and have an absolute love-filled day. Y'all know we love y'all to life. FYF, don't forget y'all have y'all class be front and center at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Keep the main thing the main thing. Stay focused on your goals. Let's knock some of them things out today. Get on that app. It's only 10:20 in the morning. Don't y'all talk about me squinting to see. Yes, I wear glasses and still can't see. Go get on that app. Go get that work done. Let's knock it out, family. Again, we love y'all to life. We'll see y'all again 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Oh, the time is winding down. We only got 4 more, family. Have an amazing day. I'm not sure who the host is that's going to actually shut us down, but y'all have an amazing one. We love y'all to life, family. Have a great one.